figure might have been a day out. The DHHS figure today is 49.6%. It says Melbourne's fallen below that 50% benchmark you set. Is there any chance that September 28th might be brought forward for us?
I think you're correct, Lundy. You are in fact correct. Look, what I'd say is that numbers will continue to fall if we all stay the course. And as they continue to fall, we'll have more options than we otherwise would. And the key point here is Victorians can be optimistic. In Melbourne, look to what's happening in regional Victoria. The strategy's working. For those in Melbourne, look to those 14-day averages, look to the number of people in hospital, look to the total number of active cases on any given measure. The strategy's working. Now, would we all like it to work even faster? Of course. But that's not the nature of this fight. That's not the nature of this virus. It's stubborn. And we've got to be as stubborn as this virus. All of us as Victorians, we have to see this through. We absolutely do. Because if we get ourselves into a position where frustration gets the better of us and we pretend it's over because we all desperately want it to be, then we can open, but we won't stay open for very long. And I know that's not what people want to hear, and it's not the message I want to give. I'd much prefer to be able to have a series of steps that were really quick. But that's just not the struggle, that's not the battle, that's not the challenge that we face.
What do you make of that, though?
Sorry?
We have hit the target, though. Shouldn't Victoria?
No, it's got to be. Well, no, of course. The fact that we are in that 30 to 50 band should be a point of pride, absolutely. But we are making an assessment, not today, but in a short amount of time, about being in that 30 to 50 band. And if we are, not just for a day, but for a decent period, for a significant period, then we'll be able to make that call. The other thing too, I think I went to this a bit yesterday. Case numbers matter, absolutely. The story behind every one of those cases, so how did they get it? Is it contained? What risks do they pose? All of that needs to be part of it. And then, of course, the passage of time is frustratingly very, very important, because we know this thing, part of its stubbornness is that what we do today, we can't be certain of the outcome for 10 to 14 days, which means the passage of time, as frustrating as that is a really important part of this. So that's why we can't just get to a point in time where we're just fractionally under that average over 14 days. It needs to be in that band of 30 to 50, and we need to just wait a little bit longer. I know that's challenging, but as we've said, we are on track. We are on track to get into that 30 to 50 band and stay there, so that on the 28th of September we can take some very significant steps.
Speaking of numbers being a little bit stubborn,
yes.
I think today's number 42 is very slightly higher than the 7-day average of 41.6. Are you
yes.
concerned that very sharp fall that we've had is plateauing a little bit?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think that, whether it's a family in Hallam, you can get 5 cases from, in one household. You can get more than that, actually, given that, there's many large families across the state. It's when you get into this zone, it is challenging. You don't need too many cases on any given day, and all of a sudden that can present a real challenge. But that's why all the way through we've said that we'll look at what sits behind those cases. 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 cases even. If we know where the person got it, we've got a lid on that, we've got our arms around those people, then that is not a risk. There's no mystery to that. Then that's very different even to one mystery case where we don't have that kind of certainty. So common sense and the story, the narrative that sits behind each and every number, that informs us all the way through. And just like we're able to take the steps yesterday and as from effect tonight in regional Victoria, that's because we had models and assumptions. They're robust, but they're never as good as the actuals. And with that passage of time, as frustrating as it is, data gets replaced by actuals, assumptions get replaced by the actual numbers that we're seeing each and every day. And the point I'm making is it's not just a quantitative exercise. There's a qualitative element to it as well. And then sadly, there is that passage of time element also.